Okay folks, welcome back to part 2 of the Warcraft sound effects tutorial. This one will be addressing how to work with voiceover samples. Honestly, I don't know how this tutorial is going to go. I'm just going to see what I can do, because every time I try to plan it, it just goes all hazy. I tend to do much better when I just wing the tutorial. So let's get right into it. Similar setup to the part 1. I've got white background, and I got the audio track for the voice clip. I've plugged in my speakers. It took a while to find the plug, given that I don't use these speakers very often. I use a headset, which severely damages my hearing, so when I'm an old man, God, I'm going to be a deaf cunt. Nonetheless, this is the clip I'll be using. It's the audio clip I used in my latest video.
Well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so-called sound tutorial, and God help us all.
Honestly, I don't know how loud that registered on the microphone, but one thing I need you to bear in mind is when you do a piece of voice work and you're going to be using the Warcraft models, it is a good idea to have areas that you pause. For example, if I play this again...
Well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so-called...
There's pause number 1.
Sound tutorial.
And that's pause number 2. The reason why I did that deliberately was because, as you know, one chat animation is not going to be enough to... I won't be able to use one chat animation for an entire piece of audio clip, especially one this long. So what I do is, those deliberate pauses, I zoom in on them. So this is where the first pause occurred. You can see that because there's absolutely no line, no ripple line whatsoever. So I select only the audio clip, I zoom in, and then hit the S key, and I divide it. And I do the same at this point here. Now I'll show you why in a second. So I now have technically 3 pieces of audio footage. And what I'm going to do is, I've already got Deceitful loaded up. Now, I have used these chat animations so many times that it's become second nature for me to decide which one to use. So, for the first part, I already know what it is even before I just think it. So I know I'll be using this. I'm going to set the animation to play only once because I will be linking animations. So, let me just get the pose, and I'll record that. Please ignore the glitching, that's Camtasia Studio doing that. So that'll be probably for the first part. So I'm just going to quickly do this. Sorry if I'm rushing it a tad, because I want to keep it within the 9-minute range, maybe 10, so I don't have to do another part. So let me just quickly add this and evade. Ignore my I do a lot of mumbling to myself just to confirm. It's like talking to myself. Honestly, I'm a psycho, so just ignore that. Come on, there we go. So that's the first clip. Now, normally what you could do is, if I was to play it now, the animation wouldn't match.
Well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for...
The animation is simply too fast. So what I'd do is, a quick way to do it is hold down the control key, go down to the very edge of your video clip, hold down the left click button and stretch. This will slow down the clip quite a bit, but it will sync it up much better because I've essentially told the software to play the animation to match the audio. So,
well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so...
Now that is unprecedentingly slow, so obviously I wouldn't really stick with that. But that's one of the retro ways of doing it, by simply stretching the actual chat animation to fit exactly the length of an audio clip. Now for certain clips it does work, but for long sentences it's not going to be enough. You need to seriously plan out how you're going to do this. So what I'd do is I'd probably use 2 chat animations. So I'll have a quick look at what other animations are available, and undeads are ideal because even though some of the chat animations are missing, you know, the yes animation actually has mouth movement. If you play the Blood Elf yes animation, it's just a simple nod. He just nods his head. There's no mouth movement, so essentially that chat animation is absolutely useless for talking. So in this case, I'll use that one. So let's record that. Stop. And now I'll quickly import that into this. I'm going to copy all of its parameters, so copy, paste different attributes. All I have to do now is just simply trim the clip. I swear to God I hate doing this, but it's the only way to... Come on, you little... There we go. Now, what I'd do is I'd move that here. This is the part where you need to fine tune. You gotta stretch and close the footage and just decide which one works well. So if I was to play it now...
Well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so-called...
That was not too bad. So now I've got the brief pause. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to decide what animation to use afterwards. It doesn't actually look too bad. It should be fine. Now the next animation, I'll use one which I've not used yet, which would be no. And it actually suits the line because he says, you know, sound tutorial. So if anything like that, I might as well just play it.
Sound tutorial.
So this animation's ideal. You can see it working with this. So like last time, record, stop, and I'm going to import. And I've still got the. Just going to paste the parameters, and I'm just going to trim the clip. So just please bear with me while I do that. There we go. Now here's the kicker. You need to match, as you can see right here, there's a big silent segment, so you need to really place the clip correctly. Just like with the footsteps tutorial, the audio comes into play, in this case when the mouth opens, which would be roughly about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim that, because that's all irrelevant, and I'm going to trim that as well, and move the audio clip slightly back. Sound tutorial, and I'm also going to look at where the actual mouth movement stops. So I'm tempted, yeah. So I could either stretch the audio, this segment of the audio clip, to match the length of the footage, which would be this, but that damages the audio clip, because when you stretch audio clips, it does, it can really make it echo bad. In fact, since the speaker's on, if I was to stretch it,
sound tutorial.
See that? It sounds very, very rough. So usually, your best bet is to shorten the footage. Bear in mind, if you try to speed the audio clip, it doesn't sound too bad.
Sound tutorial.
It just sounds much quicker, but the audio clip doesn't suffer much damage. But my tip is, your best bet is to shorten the footage. Try to refrain from increasing the duration of the audio. So then you move that. Remember, it's control, move your mouse cursor over the end of the clip and shorten it. So when I play it now,
well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so-called sound tutorial.
See? And obviously the last one, if I was using my own model viewer, the proper one, the one that has all the animations, I would have put the question or exclamation animation in, but since I've only got these three, I'm going to have to copy one. So what I'll do is I'll right click, copy, and paste that right afterwards. The only difference now is I just need to get the length correct, so I'm just going to fiddle about with the audio, move that in, and as you can see the mouth movement is very, very fast, so I'm just going to trim. You little git, come here. Trim that, I don't need that. And trim that, just about there. And move that back here. All that's left now is to make sure the footage, this here, fits this audio clip. So I'll hold down the control button and drag. There we go. And that should work. So when I play it...
Well, it looks like we're going to be guinea pigs for Sefearion's so-called sound tutorial. And God help us all.
And that's all there is to it.